Hey, this is Jill Simonello with Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and today I'm here with one of my favorite kind of vehicles, and that is a plug-in hybrid. Now this is the 2022 Volvo XC60 Recharge, and yep, that means it's a plug-in hybrid. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to talk about what is new. I'm going to show you some of the cool features on the interior, and then I'm going to give you some driving impressions. So let's take a closer look right now. So in terms of design changes for 2022, pretty much it's all going to be right here. So you have the new bumper design, new grille design, but what's really cool about this is going to be this area right here, because they've moved a lot of the safety technology from the head unit inside to this area here. So your radar is going to be here, you have a camera here, but here's the cool part, this is heated. So in the winter, I live in Chicago, that is going to be very important because I don't want any of that to freeze. I want it to work while I'm driving in the winter. So that's really cool. Now, the other big change for this year is going to be to the plug-in hybrid powertrain. So the engine is basically the same. It's still a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, but they've removed the supercharger. The big change is going to be to the electric motor. So it's a bigger, better motor, and that means you're going to have more combined total power. So you're looking at 455 horsepower and 523 pound-feet of torque. So for a 4-cylinder engine, that's a lot of power. Now, the other thing that happened here with this model year is going to be the addition of a longer range battery. So it's increased to 18.8 kilowatt hours, which means you get an all-electric driving range of about 35 miles. And I'm going to tell you from experience today, that's actually pretty accurate. So powertrain, bumper, safety technology, and on the interior, you're going to have the Google infotainment system. So you Google Maps, Google Assistant, and Google Apps that you can download from the Google Play Store. And we'll take a closer look at that when we hop inside the vehicle. One other thing I want to point out, because this plug-in hybrid powertrain has been updated, that also means you get some more electric driving characteristics. So when you are in all-electric mode, you're going to be able to use one-pedal driving, which basically means that you have your foot on the gas and you can modulate your speed simply by pushing down or lifting off, and you can come to a complete stop just by taking your foot off the gas. It's pretty cool. We're going to talk about that in driving impressions. So let's hop inside. Take a quick look at the interior of the Volvo XC60 Recharge. So just power it up really quickly. That chime is telling me I do not have my seatbelt buckled, which I do not, but I'm here not with my seatbelt hooked so that I can just do a quick walk around of the interior. So the first thing I want to point out is that you do have the map that appears in the behind the wheel gauges. I really like that, and I found what I was doing is I would turn on the audio system so I could listen, and then I would follow the map from here rather than here, and it was a lot easier to lower your sight line and look here rather than look there. So I really like the map option, having it there and then having something else here. Now, the interesting thing to know about the Volvo XC60 Recharge for 2022 is that it does now have the next generation Google interface. So what that means is you're running off of Google. So you're using Google Maps for the map. You are going to be using Google Apps. So if you come down here and you can look at your different apps, you can download apps from the Google Play Store. You can also use the Google Assistant to say things like, "Hey Google, turn down the air."
Sure, turning down the fan speed by 1.
You can also say, "Hey Google, turn on my heated seats."
Okay, turning on the seat heater for the driver.
But here's the question, will it tell you a joke? That I don't know. Let's see. "Hey Google, tell me a joke."
Why can't a bicycle stand on its own? It's too tired.
Okay, good sound effect there too. All right, so it can deal with your climate controls, it can deal with your navigation, and it'll tell you a joke. I really like that. So looking at the interior of the Volvo XC60, if you're familiar with Volvo, this is probably going to look pretty similar to other Volvos. You've got nice clean lines, you've got this large vertical screen, you've got some attractive wood accents here, and you've got really well contoured seats. So I've only been in this for a couple of hours, but I'm not fatigued and I feel pretty good about these seats. And I actually really like the headrest too. Previous iterations of Volvo had the headrest that kind of tipped forward a little bit, and I always felt like I was looking down because the headrest was weird. But here they've corrected that, so it's more of an upright position and it feels pretty good. I also have really good visibility out of all of the windows. So I'm parked at the moment, but I feel like the belt line is low enough that I have really good visibility. So what else have we got going on here? Well, really, because you are using Google Assistant, it's important to know that a lot of things that you would normally be taking your eyes off of the road and futzing with here, you can do that all by voice command. So you saw the HVAC controls, you saw that it turned on my heated seats, and you can also ask it to send you directions. So I'm literally like 1/10 of a mile away from the Parker, which is where I'm going, so it's already set. Now, the other thing I want to talk about before I get into my driving impressions is the sound system. So this is a Bowers & Wilkins sound system, and it is awesome. Actually, I think it's probably one of the best sound systems I've heard in a vehicle, like, ever. I've really been playing with the Spotify app, and I've been enjoying some pretty thumping music. But if you would like to adjust it, you go into your vehicle settings and you can go into sound, and it allows you to kind of customize, you know, the intensity, the envelopment. You can do studio, stage, room, and it kind of changes how the sound is going to appear throughout. So concert hall, jazz club, but I don't know. So I think I had it on the stage and it sounded just fine. I'm not really an audiophile. I wish my husband were here because he could probably adjust this and play with it and tell you what is really awesome about it. But let's just say, from somebody who's not really a very good audio person, the sound system is amazing. Now, while my time with the Volvo XC60 Recharge is very brief, I'm going to tell you there are two things that I didn't like, and, well, this is not one of them. I actually really love this. But this is your wireless charging pad, and it's kind of in an awkward location. My phone is a little bit taller than the pad is, and if you move that, then it sticks over and it moves around, and it was really hard to find exactly how your phone should be lined up on here to be able to get it to charge. Now, the other bad thing about this wireless charging pad is where it is located. It is in the hot sun. Okay, well, I'm in the shade at the moment, but when you're driving and you don't have shade, the sun comes blaring in on this, and when you're in Palm Springs like I am today, my phone kept overheating and it wouldn't charge. So I wish that they would put the wireless charging pad underneath some shade that would even be there when the sun is blaring down. But yeah, so that was a little bit tough. The other thing is, because my phone kept overheating here, I opened this up, and you do have the wired-in connection to charge your phone here, but here's the problem with that. It doesn't charge very fast. So I wish it was more of a fast charge system to be able to charge that up a little bit more quickly. But yeah, those are really the only two things that I found about this vehicle that I didn't like. And it has nothing to do with my driving impressions. It's all about the charging. This is actually the first time I've ever driven a Volvo XC60, and I have to say I really like it. So I've driven the XC40 and I've driven the XC90. So I've done the big, I've done the small, and I would say this is the medium-sized, or if I wanted to play the role of Goldilocks, I'd say the just right version. Now, what I really like about this specific vehicle is the fact that it feels so light and nimble, and it's very maneuverable. So it's city-sized, but comfortable for the long haul in terms of taking a road trip. So I've only had about an hour behind the wheel, so it's not a huge amount of time that I get to spend driving this vehicle to give you these impressions. This is more of a first look impression, but very, very favorable. And frankly, I haven't found anything about the XC60 Recharge so far that I don't like. Basically, I think everything is pretty cool. So because this is a PHEV, so plug-in electric hybrid, this has pure all-electric range, and this is an EPA estimated range of about 35 electric miles. So thus far I've only gone about 30 miles, so I've got 5 miles left of my electric range, and I'm going back down a mountain, so I'm going to try and regenerate here in terms of some braking to prolong this a little bit. But I like how this operates. When you are in the pure mode and you are driving in pure electric, this is very much like an electric vehicle, and it has one pedal driving, so that means that you can just use the gas to modulate your speed, and when you pull your foot off of the gas pedal, you slow down almost like you're braking. Now, the one thing that I have discovered is if you're going really fast, like 40, 45 miles an hour, not really fast, but you're going highway speeds or even, you know, not city speeds, but like the in-between phase, 45, 50 miles an hour, the vehicle doesn't slow down as fast as you want it to, so you do have to apply the brake at that point. But otherwise, like if you're not going super fast, or if you're looking ahead and you're anticipating the stop, you can start to pull your foot out of the gas and you can come to a complete stop without even using the brake pedal. And I really like that. So I'm driving on a whole bunch of twisty bits right now, and I found that using the one pedal driving is actually kind of fun. I like the plug-in hybrid. I like the fact that it's comfortable. I think, again, that it's right-sized. I've got great visibility out of all the windows. I've got a really good driving position, which is rare for being a petite driver, but everything about this vehicle just works. I could see having it in the city. I could see having it in the suburbs. I could see even having it in a rural area if you wanted something that was more on the luxury side of the spectrum. And as you know from previous videos that I've done, I really like the plug-in hybrid part of it because 35 miles is, well, I think that's a perfect amount of range. That'll get me where I need to go in most days. And then when you need to take a road trip, go a little bit further, head out to the far suburbs of Chicago, your gasoline engine will kick in and it'll put you in hybrid mode. So I like this vehicle. It's nimble and it is fast and it is smooth in all the right places, and because I'm in all electric mode, I've really been enjoying the stereo system. Fortunately, I can't play the music for you because of YouTube copyright notices, but suffice it to say, it's been thumping. So, first impressions of the Volvo XC60 Recharge, favorable. All right, that's it. That is all I've got on the Volvo XC60 Recharge. As you can tell, I really kind of liked it. Yep, there were a couple things that bothered me a little bit, but neither of them were deal breakers. So thanks for watching. Be sure to check us out on the web, and I will see you down the road.